to our favorite Aussie, who has TSM's man in the mid lane standing by for a post-game interview.
Thank you very much, Riv. Yes, I'm here with Bjergsen, the mid lane superstar. A 2-0 versus Phoenix1 now gives you guys a perfect start to the split. How is this even possible, Bjergsen? How did you guys manage this?
I think it really just came down to how much we learned in the last split. Even bringing in Biofrost, we had a really good kind of staple in the team between the 4 players, and we could implement him into our style, whereas in the spring split, it was like we all needed to figure out where to fit. But this split was all about just fitting in one person.
Yeah, and everything's kind of firing. Everyone's playing great. Biofrost, the new guy, obviously playing well as well. Do you think this is sustainable moving into now your second half of the split? Because right now, you have an undefeated record. Do you think it's possible to have a perfect season, or is it maybe going to get a little trickier as the teams get better?
I think it's possible, but I definitely agree the teams are going to continue to get better, and it's going to be harder and harder. I'm not really aiming for like an 18-0, and I don't think anyone else is keeping it in mind. It's mostly about kind of our level of growth and improvement, and everyone focuses more on, how good we feel as a team, not just like our wins or like our score.
Yeah, and it's definitely been impressive, even in the losses you have had in games, how much growth there has been. Is there any insight into how you guys have grown so much and so quickly, or is it just kind of everything working together in a combination of, individual play plus coaching plus infrastructure and kind of what's going on there in the team?
I just think everything kind of came together at a really good time. Biofrost and W5D2 worked together really well. Our coaching staff kind of came together. W5D2 and I kind of as like shot callers or leaders, kind of everything came together at a really good time, and it allowed for a really fast improvement.
Cool. So obviously we talked about the first half. Now the second half begins tomorrow, and you get to start up playing against CLG. Team, I know you guys love playing against. How are you feeling about tomorrow's matchup?
I think if we play like we did in the first game against P1, it's going to be really hard matches. CLG has some games where they look really good and some games where they don't look as good. They are a team that is willing to do some really like crazy stuff, and their level 1s are really interesting. So CLG is never a team that's easy to beat. So we're going to be doing our best to come out ahead.
And then you mentioned, obviously, you and W5D2 have kind of been sharing a lot of the shot calling and the leadership. On the other side for CLG, you look at Afro, a player that W5D2 has played with quite a bit and who's a huge presence and voice on that team. What are your thoughts on Afro as kind of a leader and a captain of that team?
I obviously don't know too much about his leadership skills because I've never played with him, but Afro has just been a consistent, like, possibly best support in an A for a really long time. So it's a player that I respect a lot. He's super good.
Awesome. And then thinking, again, it's kind of a way off now, but if TSM had to pick a goal now, kind of moving towards the back end of this season, what would it be if you could pick?
Our goal? I mean, our expectation is to win the split, and that's what I want to do. That's what I'm here for.
Well, best of luck. You've got a pretty good start so far. Thank you so much, Bergs, for joining me, but we're going to toss it back to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much. Pastry time. TSM just putting on an absolute clinic here against Phoenix1. The total game time between both of their games in this series, 54 minutes and 49 seconds. So they managed to play 2 games of League of Legends in under an hour. That is just insane.
They saw how tired, you guys are probably after last night. They're trying to get you home earlier. Like, here we go.
Thank you very much. They're being very kind to us. Actually, both streams over on NALCS1, CLG also took down Energy in just 2 games in a similar amount of total game time. But for now, we're going to focus in on this TSM series and how they close out their first round robin undefeated as a squad. Best start to the split for TSM that they've ever had. Let's start with this champion select here. I mean, Phoenix1, as expected, banning out those big power picks, all targeted at the mid lane, but it doesn't matter. Bjergsen, he's got plenty of options. He'll find something that he's willing to play into whatever you've got.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, whenever there seems to be like one dominant team, they seem to spam a lot of the same stuff, but it's just because you know that there's so many options presented to them. So you can target how you want, you can go with a specific game plan, but chances are you're up against the wall anyways.
Very much so.
You ban the 3 OPs, he just plays TF, he has a zillion as well, it pulled out in the first game. So no matter what, you're going to struggle, and I don't particularly like P1's draft for what they have, but I understand going like a little different here with the NAR and things like that, not just going into the same old matchups, hoping that it's going to be different.
And that's, I mean, they definitely switch things up. They're looking for a different strategy. Doesn't pan out for them this time. Similar to game 1, the game kind of starts to break open at just that 11-minute mark, which is kind of nuts to think that so early on in the game, TSM can find such a big advantage, but they do here 2-for-0 in the mid lane off of P1 looking for the initiate.
Right, and it's kind of thing I think where teams just get frustrated playing TSM because they play the side wave so well. Prior to this, Zig had gotten picked off a couple times, which lets TSM group mid, and it looks like they might be a little greedy trying to finish off that turret, but Inori is just too far in front of the rest of his team. You see the LeBlanc getting in there a little late, not quite after the knock-up. And so not the worst idea of a play to go for, trying to punish TSM greeting for that turret, but it was just not executed very well, which I think was the problem. What we saw was like, P1 had the right idea a lot of the times. We saw it in game 1 as well, but just when it came down to like actually playing that situation, it just didn't go right.
Player of the game, going to go to double lift on this one, 7-0-10 on that Lucian. Obviously, in such a quick game and with as many kills as TSM was able to pick up, all the players are going to look good. Double lift, getting that first blood onto Gate very early in the game, utilizing that advantage, pushing it forward, playing a near flawless, possibly flawless game on Lucian.
Yeah, definitely scary to play against the LeBlanc too. I think there were a couple times that we saw people looking to try and pick him off, and he was able to just live kind of like in that last, highlight, getting out away from Inori, being able to turn it back and get the kills. So really good stats all around for him from this series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he has been a stellar performer for TSM. The split, still playing a ton of Lucian, right? We've seen him branch out a couple times, Ashe and Sivir, but still very happy to play that champion if you're going to give it to him. That's going to do it for our TSM Phoenix1 series over on NALCS 2. When the NALCS returns, Liquid and Envy will be on stage for a match that you will not want to miss. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're coming back to
Wait, I thought you were some weeb because you had a weeb name.
Dog, come on, dude. You got family like this.
Inori could be baited in here to helping too much. Not much movement from Purian. He moves on this one very slow, and he may just get there too late. Oh, they were prepping the arrow to work, putting themselves into position, but really, they were only falling into TSM's trap.
She's gonna go here, and then I'll kill her.
Nice.
Ashes. Thanks, Peter.
Fight too much. Would have been great to be in the 1v1. Bjergsen on the right side of the Raptor pit. Svenskeren flying through with the flash body slam.
I'm on the way.
Wait, no RCP.
They have TP.
RCP. Okay. You're a beast.
TSM staying undefeated in the North American LCS Summer Split.